Hello and welcome to Manifesting Money. It is the first paycheck of January. Woohoo, here we go. I don't know why I'm so excited. I mean, it's excited to get paid, but also I like seeing the progress. So we're going to get right into it. So I already set up my paycheck budget when I set up my whole month. So now it's just a matter of going in with my actual numbers and starting to get some of these bill paid and see where we're going to be at. So I know that my rollover from the account, do I know what my rollover was? I do. I wrote it down. Lord, solid start. Okay. So I know that my actual rollover was less, but my actual pay was more. Get my total here. Okay, so that's what we're working with. So some of these bills I pay immediately, and some of these numbers are going to need to be adjusted because I noticed that my escrow was short on the mortgage, but only $22. So they have the option to either pay it all right up front and then my mortgage stays the same, or I can adjust my payment by like $2 a month and catch it up. I think I'm actually going to take this as an opportunity to just bump up what I pay on my mortgage going forward. So I'll just pay the extra, but a little bit more because that'll just help even more. So we're going to redo some math here. I could have just subtracted, but why would we do that? This VB here is because I'm paying this credit card minimum with my Velocity banking deposit or transfer. So that is covered there. And then and my buffer. This is kind of what I mean when I say that your budget is a living document. Like once you've written it down, it's not set in stone. You can't make changes and adjustments. Once I get paid, I tend to leave it alone, but then I can look ahead at the next month and decide if I need to account for things differently. But you can always make changes as you need to. I also decided that of this one, I was going to put $25 on my Fidelity account for my investments. So that I just kind of backward mathed a little bit here. So let me just adjust these numbers. So if that is going to be leftover the 198, I'm going to make sure of that 198, I save 25 for my Fidelity account. So we're going to say this is an additional payment of 173, which leaves 25 to put on my Fidelity, which leaves me with 0. So that's a zero-based budget, which means every dollar has a home. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pay all the bills that I can pay that are not auto pay. So I think Apple and Google and Discover are the auto pays for this month. So we're going to go ahead and pay some bills. So this first one here is the credit card tracker. This is the one that I'm paying all of my flexible expenses out of this account. So because I'm tracking a credit card balance, the balance is going to go up and down opposite what you expect. So we'll come back to that. I have it as my second page because that's going to be the one I use most often for the day-to-day flexible category spending. So here we've got our math already started for us. So we've got plus paycheck. Okay, and I know I'm going to pay into the grocery account. I'm going to set aside the kids' chore money. 35. Okay, and now I know I've got Discover is an auto pay, but because it's a large amount, I like to put that on my tracker right away so that I account for that money being out when I'm doing my spending. So we've got Discover, 295. Capital One is covered, so then it's the car at 266. Could do the split screen, but why make it easy? Eight. Reliant, which is my utilities. What am I forgetting? Our Progressive Alliance. Okay. Our Progressive Alliance. All right, I'll just catch this math up real quick. Okay, and then I'm going to pay my Fidelity. That's going to be for my investing. So that leaves me there. My planned flexible velocity banking transfer is the 298. So we're going to go ahead and make that transfer. Record that here as VB, so Capital One Velocity Banking. That'll be the 298. Okay, and then in this account, I know I only want to leave a $50 buffer, and then I still need to make sure I set aside that $3 for Apple and Google. So I can actually turn that into more of a credit card payment. So let's do that. So if I need to set aside $50 for the buffer, and we'll say $5 for those auto pays yet to come out. So I can put another $60 on the Capital One card. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to call this Capital One Debt Avalanche because that's just an additional payment. So that's going to be another $60. So that will leave me within this account $55.59, which is fine by me. Okay. So then what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and highlight these just so I can keep my categories in check here. So this is going to be, that is too fat of a highlighter, new 5mm. Groceries. Got money. These are all bills. I'm being so fussy about my highlighter this morning. Okay. Okay. And we've got and I think I'm just going to call both of these debt payments, even though this one is the velocity banking and the other one is the avalanche, just to account for those. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do now is go back to here. So for this starting balance, I'm going to put on there, we've got our velocity banking deposit, which is the two, Lord help me, 298 and then 60. Or 298. And then we're going to say that avalanche was another 60. And again, because we're tracking the balance on this card, because it's a credit card, that's going to bring our balance down to 406, and then another 60 down. Okay. And then obviously as I use the card and put those flexible, that balance will go back up, but it'll be sitting at a nice lower balance for the majority of the time, which is just going to help the interest that I pay on the card, hopefully helping me pay down this card faster. So on this page here, we are going to go with these numbers because the actual that I paid in was the 298, which means that this was the 173 is how that math works out. Where'd the 3 come from, y'all? I think it's supposed to be an 8. Oh, no, I know what I did. Nope. That's right, because of that math. See, sometimes I mess myself up. And then we did an extra $60 of payment on that, which is great. So then what I will do is I will go through before I get myself super confused. We'll go through and we'll do our actuals on here. Those I don't have actuals yet. Let me actually make another adjustment here. God dang it. Progressive is not going to be an even 68 because that's always some dollars and cents. So that's going to mess up my money here a little bit. But not too bad. It's usually like 67 something. So I will get that actual number from Progressive so that I can do my actual math. So bear with me 1 second. I'll go get that number. Okay, so the actual Progressive bill, let me update this here, is going to be $59.33. But I'm not going to make any more adjustments aside from doing the math correctly because I don't want to have to move a bunch of stuff around. So 59 minus. All right, so now we'll just catch up our math. Okay. So that's just going to have a little bit more of a buffer than initially, and we're not going to mess with it. So 59.33. So now we'll come back to here where we can do our actuals so far. Okay. Now I won't have the rest of those actuals until I pay the Apple and the Google, but right now everything is looking like it makes sense. We do have an actual for this guy down here, which is going to be actually 25. So I kind of use this as a paycheck closeout just to kind of do all my totals on here. And then I do the big monthly closeout, with all of the totals and everything. So this is us looking pretty good for January. We've got everything accounted for. As you see, I like to pay my bills as soon as I get paid to get that handled and out of the way so I don't have to worry about those dollars. And then it's just a matter of tracking my flexible expenses throughout the pay period and recording all of those things. So I will probably do midweek check-ins, like we'll check in again on Wednesday, and then on Friday we'll do another check-in to see how things are going, and that way every other Friday should be a paycheck Friday. So let me know how your first pay period is feeling. How are you feeling about January? If you have stuck with me this far, I will apologize. I did a savings and debt video, but my microphone cut out like right away and the whole video has no sound. So I will record kind of a quick once over just to catch you up on where I'm at with my January savings and debt. But I do love to let budgeting videos play while I'm working on other stuff. So if you have a budgeting channel, if you have a favorite channel, or you want me to watch you, I'm all for us girlies getting monetized. Let me know with your favorite money emoji what your channel is called so I can come subscribe and watch your stuff. And we will work on getting monetized in 2025. Thank you so much for being here, and I am so excited to see what we can accomplish in 2025. Let's go. Thank you.